Hey, yo, the next chapter One Piece could be very saucy. It could be very saucy because there's so many options to pick and choose as to what could go down in the next chapter of One Piece. There are so many options on what could happen. And I get the feeling that, like, no matter what happens, someone's gonna get upset. Someone is going to get very pissed at next chapter of One Piece because things didn't play out X, Y, and Z, or some agendas were destroyed, others were elevated. It's the name of the game. Rob Lucci staring down Monkey Jesus. Because remember, the man has the Nika ability now, Monkey Jesus Luffy. And it's Luffy who's sweating, not Rob Lucci. So, oh my God. I've already seen it. I've already seen it. The cancer is literally a week away. However, Vegapunk is actually going to ride the Sunny God at some point with the crew. At least at this point in time, he's bound to do so. And it's kind of crazy because not a single cell of Yamato's body was on the Sunny Go as far as I can remember. I could be wrong. Maybe it happened off screen. Maybe, I don't know. But as far as I can recall, Yamato was never on board the Sunny Go. I would like to assume that maybe at some point she was on, but whatever. The whole point here is that if you haven't seen my live stream reaction to the chapter, you can go to my Cole Requiem channel, link in the box for the full live stream, and of course on my twitch.tv channel. Also, if you want to see my anime reaction content, you go to my Kingu-san channel, link in the box below for that, for One Piece, for Bleach, for Chainsaw Man, and things like that as well. And of course, all initially done on Patreon, link in the box, all links in the description box down below. So this chapter has a very interesting start when it comes to the Vegapunks not allowing Rob Gucci to hop on board. And it kind of feels like Rob Gucci knows that the Sea Beasts, even though they apparently took on 2 of these Sea Beasts, they can't handle all the Sea Beasts. And in the process, they should be destroyed. So Rob Gucci makes the call to actually man the ship, and they do so with S-Bear. So just how the Seraphim Jinbei is called Shark, S-Bear is the Seraphim Kuma. And Kuma, see, okay, this one to me it requires more, I guess, research. Kuma has the S-Bear has the paw ability. So now there are 2 individuals that have the paw ability. But my understanding of things, based on Oda's comments in SBS long ago, was that 2 abilities of the same type can exist completely. So it's the reason why Momonosuke is not an Azure Dragon, he's a Pink Dragon, because 2 abilities cannot equally exist at the same time. So I have to assume, just by default, that whatever S-Bear is doing is a mock version of Kuma's genuine paw ability. So S-Bear can't do the exact same things that Kuma can do. Like, he's nerfed to some extent when it comes to that ability usage. Because Kuma has the real Kuma has the genuine article ability, which he does use to actually transport him probably to Agate Island. So, Dragon. Oh my God, when is Dragon going to get the shine that we are desperately waiting for? Like, do we need to film Green to actually get all the content that we need for Monkey D. Dragon? I was really looking forward to Dragon doing something. Now, maybe he could follow Kuma. Let's say he can fly across the sky like a Dragon Ball character and then just tail Kuma, but I have my doubts on that one. I have my big doubts on that one. So Kuma is going to be there, studly as all hell, menacing as all hell, pissed off that his daughter's at risk, and Dragon will most likely be saved for another point in time in the future. I hope in the near future, because I just want Dragon and Ivankov and the Rev to just do something, especially when they lost contact with an Emperor of the Sea, a flaming Emperor of the Sea. So, hey, yo, when our boys are in trouble, we have to move. But Dragon is comfortable as all hell. He's a fat gamer. He's a fat dude that should just sit back and just chill. The man is very immobile, despite his wind ability. He does nothing. Is it My 600-Pound Life featuring Monkey D. Dragon? Maybe. Maybe he's actually wearing a very tight waistband, so when he actually pulls it down, it's all blubber. Dragon, please. So, it's unfortunate. It's very unfortunate, but it looks like Dragon is not doing anything for a while. But Vegapunk is clearly doing a lot. Vegapunk wants to create infinite energy, or at least free energy for all the world to use, which essentially means infinite energy in some senses here, where this energy will be so abundant that anyone can utilize it everywhere in the world. And according to Jinbei, which makes sense, this would probably negate a lot of the wars around the world for energy resources. And of course, this probably means, once again, the Undying Flame. So at some point in the future, I need to do a video on this Undying Flame stuff, because there actually are, arguably speaking, more options than, let's say, just nuclear fusion. It could be that, and that alone, but it could be a little more mystical, honestly. But it's very clear here that in some respects, Luffy and Vegapunk are in lockstep, where Luffy, way back when, told Rayleigh that he wanted to be Pirate King. And what that meant to Luffy, ultimately, was being the freest person in the ocean. And I ain't gonna lie to you, too. This tech stuff, oh, man. If this stuff is free in the future, like, not just energy, but let's say all of Vegapunk's crazy, zany tech, if that's also gonna be free, if that comes with a package deal?
Oh no.
Like, of course, my Surfshark VPN package plan. Link in the box below. Subscribe for 83% off and 3 months free. Plugin. Yo, I don't want cats warping all over the place. This man pulls a Sanji raid suit. He's disappearing plus warping. How is he able to just warp? Is it, let's say, a clickable device? Or let's say he can scan his body and he can warp from place to place to place to place to... No! Yes! He's bending space and time just for kicks. Just for meager transportation. Nah, yo, Vegapunk. What did I say before about tech being busted? Tech is busted as all hell in the world of One Piece. And Vegapunk's shenanigans continue to prove this time and time and time and time and time and time and time again. But what absolutely caught everyone off guard at the end of the chapter was Luffy and Lucci just meeting right there and there at the end of the chapter. Yo, this is where Agenda Piece is about to be at its finest. Because after all of the Kaku shenanigans, after all of the Stussy shenanigans, after all of the crazy tech stuff and blah, blah, yada, yada, Atlas gets crushed by Lucci with 2 6-gun cannons. And then Monkey Jesus runs past with Jinbei, and there he is, Rob Gucci. So I've seen 2 sides of the aisle, like complete polar opposites. And usually in this case here, the answer is somewhere in the middle, duh. But the first side of the aisle here is that Lucci is about to get crushed, absolutely destroyed, negative. Luffy is going to fold this man. Then the opposite side of the aisle is that Luffy is gonna get pressed pretty hard by Rob Gucci. There was even a guy during my stream reaction on the YouTube side of things, Abyssal Leviathan, actually stated that Luffy would need to go into a whole new form, like a new gear or something, to actually beat Rob Gucci. Yo. I'll put out there too, he is likely trolling, likely leave some room for doubt, because yeah, sometimes with these things you can never really know. The answer is somewhere in the middle, where in my personal opinion right now, unless Luffy wants to test out Gear 5 techniques on Rob Gucci, I don't see why he would need to go Gear 5 against Rob Gucci. Gear 4 arguably is also a hard-pressed thing too. Remember that in chapter 1037, Luffy in base plus Gear 2 and Gear 3 and Conquer Fusion could fight against Kaido when Kaido, I think, had acknowledged him as a fighter. But at the same time, to say that Rob Gucci is a slouch, he's a scrub, I've always said doesn't make much sense to me. Particularly, and I know they're not canon, but particularly in the movies where in Film Gold, he fights against Sabo, yo. The Flame Emperor, man. Whoa. You have to respect that. That commands respect, even in the manga itself. There's a reason why you can argue the Gorosei have confidence in Rob Lucci being the one to track down Sabo and the Rev. It's Rob Gucci who's doing that stuff. He's definitely a lot stronger than guys like Guernica or Maha that could barely beat Izo 2v1. I mean, that's a safe bet. I would argue that he's actually probably a souped up version of Who's Who, but it depends on how souped up he is. So again, there's so many options here. It could be the case here where, let's say, it's not gonna be 1v1. It could be 4v1 or 4v2. So it's Luffy and Jinbei versus CP0 and S-Bear, the Seraphim that's there. Or let's say they don't engage at all. Even though Alex is on the ground, like literally dying, what if they don't engage at all? So again, there's a cornucopia of sauces to pick here. We can mix and match. We can go barbecue and ranch. We can go sriracha and jalapeno mayo if you want extra heat. There's options here, but next week can't come soon enough. One of the tier 3s did make a good comment, where if you were, let's say, replace Luffy and Jinbei with Jack the Drought and Kaido, because you can argue that equivalence, of course you could. Who was expecting Kaido to actually struggle with Rob Lucci? Only time can tell, but there's a good chance that somebody is going to get pissed, as long as it's not me.